Here it is, Riddarholmskyrkan, the Knights Islet Church, if you translate it. And in here we have Banner's grave chamber, and just until half a year ago there was armour in there, in the chamber, that nobody could look at. But now they have preserved it and put it out for exhibition. Hi, now we are in Riddarholmskyrkan, a church in central Stockholm, on Riddarholmen. If you translate it, it's the Knights Islet. This is the best preserved church, monastery church in Stockholm. It belonged to the monastery Gråbröderna, monks, and was built in the 14th century. Here behind me there is an armour that has belonged to the family Banner, who was fighting in the 30 Years' War. This armour comes from Djursholms fideikommiss and was put in the grave chamber, the Banner's grave chamber. And this armour is most likely been made in Arboga. As you can see, it's early 17th century, and you can have some features on the armour. You see it's a little bit of a French touch. I was at the Swedish Army Museum when they were conserving this one, so we examined it with some experts, and one of the experts was a little bit, he thought, it feels a little bit French in a way. It feels very domestic but also French. And later I read in the sources that around 1610 to Arboga they were having some French armourers coming and working at Arboga, and that could explain why this armour has a little bit French touch, but also some domestic things that you can see in several other armours made in Sweden. This one has been blued before and with the gilded rivets, so when it was new it was dark blue and a bit blue and shiny. And it's a very nice example of a Swedish-made armour, but then most likely made of a master armour from France, or perhaps somebody working close to this master armour from France, maybe a Swedish master armourer that learned from the French armour. One of the features that could connect it to the French style is this pointy comb on the helmet, and one of the common Swedish features is the curved line on the visor here. The armour is stamped with the letters H and R, and there are in the documentation from Arboga armour with that initials HR, but that's a little bit earlier than when this probably is made. A very nice armour, very nice explanation now. Before it was up in the grave chamber, you could hardly see it, but they decided to take it down, preserve it, and put it outside here on display. There is also more of a field armour, bulletproof in front and back, and a very nice bulletproof field armour helmet. This also comes from the Djursholms fideikommiss, which the family Banner possessed. So most likely these ones have been down on the fields in Germany during the 30 Years' War. as you can see also on this armor, it is made for also being able to use in jousts during the regent period of Gustavus Adolphus II. He was very fond of jousting, so every celebration when they had a birthday or marriage or something, they always arranged big jousts in Stockholm and Uppsala. And you can see here on the elbow cup, you have a bolt or a nut actually added to the cup, where you can put on reinforcements. And also here you have filled in holes for a lance rest. So before you could add a lance rest to this one, and also added to this kind of armor, you had a big reinforcement plate over the left shoulder that covered the gap between the helmet and the shoulder part. So now this has been riveted again, the holes, and the lance rest of course is taken away, but you can see the signs that it has been used also for tournament. Yes, and this armor is not the armor that I would like to do as a masterpiece, but this armor is made on the same location in the Royal Armoury that Gustav Vasa founded 1551. And the armor that I would like to make as a masterpiece is armor that could have been made in Arboga, the same place as this armor is made, perhaps by a master armorer that's a grandson to the ones that I am making.